Welcome back, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, to the super, not, funny show, reviews. I am Jen Thépuppét, your resident fabricant and comment extraordinaire on all things pop culture. And today we're going to be reviewing the 8th episode of The Equalizer, coming to you from CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus. And it's entitled Lifeline. So, was it good? Was it bad? And should you be watching? Stick around because I have opinions. The Equalizer, Episode 8, entitled Lifeline. And it's entitled Lifeline because Robin McCall is literally the lifeline for a woman that's on the run from a squad of killers. Straight killers, mercenaries, and assassins trying to kill her, capture her, whatever. After she witnesses her boyfriend getting gunned down on the roads of rural France. And for whatever reason, she has Robin McCall's satellite phone information. And she calls her, and she's on the run. So, of course, she's the Equalizer. Robin McCall has to jump to the rescue. And what proceeds from there is mostly a bottle episode. A bottle episode being, of course, one that mostly takes place in one room. In this case, the unbelievably large basement lair slash, bat cave, whatever you want to call it, of her two friends that have been helping her, assisting her in the equalizing in New York City. I say unrealistic because this is a huge room. This room you could fit several apartments in New York inside of. But somehow they can afford it. Who knows why? I guess being a retired spook or whatever is very lucrative. Either way, of course, Robin's going to jump on this, especially when she finds out this is the daughter of a mentor, an ex-mentor from the CIA who had just been killed. So if she has her number, he must have thought that she would help her. He would thought that McCall would help his daughter out if she were in a real jam. And so here we are. So what proceeds is what I would call, as this show tends to do, is a parallel story. A story that, as she's helping someone out, is also paralleling her own, family life. Something I really enjoy about this show. In this particular case, as she helps out this young lady who is being tracked by some very professional, killers, she also realizes that it's part of the reason why she quit being a CIA operative was to be closer to her daughter and to see her grow up. And to not, lose her whole life being a good company, soldier. And she sees in this, now 25-year-old young woman who missed most of her dad's childhood, that him being as, a good soldier made him not so good a father. And as there's some real resentment built up because she presumes he's dead and is mad that she wasn't able to tell him all the things she wanted to say, especially that she loved him. And this is all a very nice sentiment that essentially rolls back around onto Robin not just quitting her job. She quits her job in the CIA and comes and becomes the Equalizer and is still doing all those things that were, driving, I guess, a wedge of, absence and distance between her and her daughter. Even though she is actually at home, she's still running around at all times. And this sort of lends himself toward a sort of a B plot wherein, her daughter and her daughter's new friend, rifle through her room and say, who is she? Where is she? Why is she? Who does she work for? What's this, this charity she supposedly works for? Maybe she's a spy. And the friend, being silly or whatever, actually gets very close to what's really real. And it leads them to maybe think that maybe it actually is a thing. But it's Aunt Vi to the rescue. Aunt Vi, who, she's the fixer in this show. She is covering for Robin, and makes them think, hey, you guys are being silly. It's just this passport you found that's blank. She just got a brand new one. And, you guys, you're just watching too many movies. Move on. But it is funny that, they did get very close to the truth. While all this is going on, and you can see Aunt Vi is, her suspicions are pretty damn high. It's all the way up here. So, she's going to, confront Robin toward the end. At the same time, this hairy situation, this young lady, she's getting chased by killers. And Robin, she literally has to direct the whole rescue operation from a basement in New York City and use all of the tokens and chips she can bring to bear, or her friends can bring to bear, to help out. So they managed to keep her safe and to get her out and extracted to a person that Robin once saved in Afghanistan. Saved her life, and you know what? She said, I'm calling in my chip. I need you to get this girl. And she does. And that leads us into, you're thinking, hey, everything's cool. Bishop's going to help out. But there's always a twist. It's too easy when it's halfway through and we've already rescued the girl. Well, what actually is going on is somebody from from Robin and Bishop's past is still out in play and is out there pulling some strings because he wants to get this secret encrypted drive that the girl, the runaway girl, Carla, her name is, her father had an encrypted drive with a knock list, which is, you know what? I'm at the pause here. Why do anything involving spies always have to do with the damn knock list? What is this? Who's writing this list down? There's somehow CIA always has this little list, and it's always getting like traded or stolen or somehow embezzled, so whatever. It's being smuggled out of the CIA, and there's always some some assassins or whatever that are willing to kill like hundreds of people just to get this damn list. It doesn't fail. Go watch Mission Impossible, the first one. That is literally the entire point of that entire movie is that damn knock list. And dang it, they got to start. They got to stop writing that shit down like that. I don't know. Do something better than that, because this girl is literally about to get killed over a list she doesn't even know exists. Just that her father had something to do with it. But I digress. What sort of, I'm going to count this against this episode. I'm going to be honest. There's a lot of exposition in here that's just for exposition, because if there's no exposition, you don't know what the hell's going on, right? There's... this girl's literally almost just saying, about her relationship with her dad. Exposition. They're like, oh well, what's her dad into? Let's get some exposition about it. Why would they want her? Exposition. And at the end they introduce a bad guy, a big bad guy. So I suspect a bad guy we're going to be seeing much more of in the future. A big bad guy that Robin had previously caught and given over to the CIA. To be locked up, and key thrown away, only to find out that Bishop knew that this guy had been traded for another person. He had been traded for another person's life, and now the guy, this dude, is out in the wind, being a super genius that doesn't give a damn about other people and will kill hundreds of people just to get one dude. And so he's out, and he's at the bottom of this whole thing and why this young woman is being chased. And so because this guy is out and he's pulling the strings, Robin knows she has got to get in the field. And she's pissed at Bishop, super mad at Bishop for basically lying by omission to say, hey, this, even though he didn't have a choice about it, he knew that this guy was still out in the wild. And so she gets, he gives her a plane and a team to go see about extracting this young lady. And what follows is some good old, it's network TV. It's not going to be like Bourne Identity, but some good, old, hand-to-hand fighting. And there's a standoff. There's people shooting. I'm presuming they're shooting in the background. And she runs across this, ex-Mossad assassin that is working for the big bad guy. And, she knows that this guy is a guy, she knows all about the guy and the big bad, thanks in part to Detective Dante, which for some reason, he does help her out because he's a white knight. She says there's a girl that's going to get hurt. If I don't get your help, I need some information from a guy that's in Rikers Island. And he does help her, not, reluctantly, but he does help out. And it helps her get to this point where she can fight this guy. And we find out that the murdered friend of hers, Henson, is actually not dead. He was supposed to be killed in a bomb. He's not dead. He's just been captured and he's been tortured. They've been trying to get this. They've been trying to get this password about the knock list out of him, and that's why they captured the daughter in order to use her as blackmail against him. And it works, except Robin's there, and even though she's been tased, she's still she's such a badass. She gets back into the fight. The daughter's a real badass, who apparently she's some kind of war zone journalist, photographer. And between the two of them, well, really it's more a distraction from the daughter and McCall kicking the shit out of him and eventually shooting the assassin guy. Well, all that happens, she manages to save the daughter, but Henson still takes bullets to save his daughter's life from the assassin. Not the assassin, but the assassin's henchman. And at the end of the day, he still dies. He dies anyway, but he's able to get closure with his daughter, who had lamented earlier that she couldn't get closure. All interesting things. I will have to say it's just a little rote, not a little unsurprising the way things turned out. But what was real in this is Robin's, when Robin, she gets back from all of the, all those adventures, and she's very upset with Bishop and kind of tells him what she thinks about him. And she's very upset about the whole, the way everything kind of played out. And she gets home, and then Aunt Vi confronts her about what she's really doing. And as I predicted, it's almost time for her to come clean with the family. She hasn't come clean with Delilah yet, but she came clean with Aunt Vi about being ex-CI and now being the Equalizer, and assuring Aunt Vi that she's going to keep the family safe and that's not going to come back to her. Woo! Let's just say famous last words. I'm just gonna say she just said it's not gonna happen, and that they're firewalled and the family's firewalled, which means it's definitely gonna happen. It's just a matter of time. I give it a couple episodes before all this comes back, and there's Delilah or Aunt Vi are gonna be in some kind of mortal danger because of the Equalizer thing. And of course, you got Detective Dante talking about he's gonna definitely take her down next time. We'll see about that. She's very Detective Gordon. Did he ever really take down Batman? I don't think so. So, all the way around, I had a good time with this. I wasn't super thrilled with it. It's not a bad episode. It's good. It's just the nature of it, the bottle episode. There's a lot of exposition. It's for exposition's sake, I feel like. There's an introduction of a bad guy without actually seeing his face, so he's just like a boogeyman, It feels a little, it just feels slightly inauthentic, I guess I can say. I've seen this many times before, so I really kind of want a little better from them. But overall, did enjoy the episode. I really enjoyed the family part, and I can't wait to see more incorporation of that. The coming conflict between Robin's dual lives. I can't wait to see all that come into play. And also this big bad. He's supposed to be such a big ass badass. I want to see what's up. And Robin, obviously, she's going to be gunning for him. So that's my thought on the episode, this new episode of The Equalizer. So what did you guys think about this episode? And what did you think of my review? Why don't you get down in the comments and let me know what you're thinking. And of course, if you want to hit me up, you can always hit me up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And we could chop it up, talk about the Equalizer, speculate, talk about what's Robin, what Dante, what all of them are doing. Really get into it, mix it up. And hey, have you subscribed to the Super Not Funny Show? What? You haven't? What are you doing? Get down there, hit that subscribe button. And while you're at it, why don't you hit that notification bell, and it'll let you know when we drop new content, which we do every week. New reviews, new reactions, anything else that floats our pop culture boat. Like the Invincible cast, which I do with my friend Lottie, and we talk about the great show, Invincible. All right, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, thanks once again for joining me for this review of the Equalizer, Episode 8. Come back next week, we'll review the very next episode. Until then, I've been Jen Thépuppét, your resident fabricant and commenter extraordinaire on all things pop culture. And I'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace!